your girl Ayana. Thank you for joining me for today's video. I am excited because this is a fun one and it's about dating and relationships, and I can talk about dating and relationships all day long. I just love it. It comes from the platform 8 at the Table, so you know their content can be controversial, but nonetheless, it's a great conversation starter. So I enjoy watching them. And if you like them, I suggest you go check them out on all of the social media platforms as well. So this quick clip is about first date questions. And so the entire video, which is a lot longer than this, they asked a bunch of questions about first dates and in the beginning stages of dating. So it's really good. I suggest you check out the full video. But in this clip, it's about just the first date and setting up for the first date. So let's jump into the video and we can talk about it afterwards.
What is filet?
She said, "What is filet again?" I said, "No."
Was it like the fish filet or the steak filet?
It was a steak filet.
Can I ask a quick question? When y'all go out with a guy, right, do you actually try to tell him where you might want to go so you can get your seafood and your steak? Because what if he picks just an off-the-wall spot?
I have my personal list of, restaurants that I would like to visit here and there.
So you're
that
going
I
to suggest to him?
If he doesn't have anything in mind, then sure. But I'm very open to see where he wants to take me.
I care more about the energy that you're bringing to me than actually where we're at.
Lord, that is poetic.
I'm back on 8 at the Table with all the feels. This shit.
But is it great when it's in a top tier spot? Because you said it got to be top tier. So if it's top tier, then it's
But
cool.
is it top tier if you're with a low tier person?
Like I said, it was a short clip, but I thought it was cute and cheeky and fun. And on this platform, we use content, our own experiences, and the experiences of others to learn, grow, and heal from so we can be the best version of ourselves. So let's see what we can pull out from this clip to take away with some lessons learned. For me, the first one would be on a date, especially the first date. If you can't pronounce it, don't order it. If you've never had it before, don't order it. The first date is not the time to be brand new, to be fancy. Stay in your lane and try your best to be the best version of yourself, but an authentic version of yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Please, please don't. Get the salmon, get the chicken, get the crab legs, things you recognize and understand what they are. Trust me, you'll thank me later. The other part that I thought was really funny is how they kind of jumped in on Jordy when she went into the feelings and the vibe. I love that. I love that. And I want to get into that in a little bit more detail. But let me just pull apart this quick clip where I think his name is Iso asked a really good question, and I want us to chat about it. So let me jump into this again, a recap, and we can chat about it afterwards.
Can I ask a quick question? When y'all go out with a guy, right, do you actually try to tell him where you might want to go so you can get your seafood and your steak? Because what if he picks just an off-the-wall spot?
Excellent question, and I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. I think you can either take the initiative and plan the date, or you can ask the person you're going out on a date for their recommendation. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I think whatever the vibe is too between you and that person, in the beginning, what you're picking up from them, I would go with that as well. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I like when the guy makes the initiative to plan the date. I think it just shows a lot about him to me, especially I'm watching where and the type of dates he's choosing, locations, because I think it tells me a lot about his personality too, or what he thinks of me. So that's kind of a big reason why I let them choose. Also, I'm paying attention to if he's listening to what I'm saying, because if I tell you I don't eat meat and you take me to a steak shop or a butcher shop, that's going to be a red flag for me, right? You're not listening. Or if I tell you I really like Italian food and you research the best Italian food restaurant in the city and suggest it, I'm thinking, okay, that's sweet. He's trying to take my feelings into consideration, or he wants to make a good impression on me, or he is considering my likes, or he wants to make me comfortable. I'm thinking all of these things. Probably shouldn't, but that's just the Virgo in me. I've got to analyze everything. But I do appreciate when a guy initiates the date and the date location. There obviously are times where I really want to go somewhere and I'll suggest it. Um, and those times, are appropriate too. But I think it's sweet. Now, as a gentleman, if you ask a woman where she wants to go, take into consideration her suggestions. And be careful, because she may suggest a place that's out of your budget or out of your way. And now you have to meet those expectations. So it's a little bit better in your favor if you choose the place, because if you're on a budget, you can get a little bit more creative and still have a great experience without breaking the bank. So, no, like I said, no right or wrong, but there's definitely some things to consider. And like I said, I think it's super sweet when a guy plans it, especially when he's listened to the suggestions that I made, or not even suggestions, because he's not going to ask me, right? He's just going to plan it. But when he listens to the things I say in the conversation, for instance, if I say, oh, I just love tulips, which they are my favorite. Oh, I love them in the spring. And he takes me to the botanical garden where they're having a tulip exhibit. Like, you're going to win my heart over, because I think that's so sweet, because you listened to that simple thing I said 5 conversations ago, but you made a point to show that you were listening and cared about what I wanted to do. So like I said, there is no right or wrong way. If you want to initiate, great. Some women absolutely love it. Or if you want to get suggestions and recommendations, go for that too, because a lot of women do like that. And they want to show you a little bit about themselves by the restaurants that they choose. The only con that I can think of, and there may be more, so definitely share if there are more. The only con that I can think of, if you are asking for suggestions and recommendations, is if they recommend something that's out of your budget, way out of your budget, you may be on the hook to entertain that or to go through with that date because you did ask for suggestions. When you initiate dates, you can control your budget a lot better. You can even plan very inexpensive dates that look fancy, and they would be none the wiser. So keep that in mind. It may behoove you, especially in the beginning, if you're doing a lot of dating, it may behoove you to take the initiative so you can, control your budget a little bit better. So let's get into this next clip. This was the part that I liked. I thought it was cute because Jordy is my twin flame. She speaks my language. My Virgo sun, my Cancer moon, and my Aries rising, all the feelings, all the emotions, that is me. I am a walking box of feelings. So when she was speaking, I was just in love. I just thought I loved what she said. So let's get into it as a recap, and then we can chat about what she said afterwards.
Care more about the energy that you're bringing to me than actually where we're at.
Lord, that is poetic.
Love, I'm back on 8 at the table with all the feels. This shit.
But is it great when it's in a top tier spot? Because you said it got to be top tier. So if it's top tier, then it's cool.
Is it top tier if you're with a low tier person?
So I just love Jordy. I love her perspective. It resonates with me so much because I think for me, that's just as important too, right? I took from what she was saying as she wants to get to know the person and have a connection. Like that is more important to her than the ambiance or the location of the date, or that's more important to her than who initiates and who doesn't. She just wants to make sure that she has a good vibe when she does get in your presence, and that you don't disrupt her peace and energy. And I totally respect that. I think if you are dating for a long-term committed relationship, you approach the dates a little bit differently. You're more into dates and dating locations that will allow you to connect with that person, to hear that person when you're having a conversation with them, to be able to have dialogue free of, too many distractions. You are trying to get to know that person's inner self, right, as much as you can. And so you may be open to locations like coffee shops, ice cream parlors, walks on the pier, trips to the zoo, things like that, where you can have a lot of quality, intimate time with that person in the beginning to get to know them. Because you're looking at dates as opportunities to vet people for long-term relationships, right? So you are approaching them a little bit different. But I think if you are approaching dating from a casual standpoint, where you just want to have fun and get to know people, then the ambiance and the location seem to be more important because you're looking for excitement. You want to have a good time. You want to have memories and experiences. Totally understand that. I think that's great. As long as you know what you're dating for and the other person knows what you're dating for, I think if they initiate the date, they'll get it right because they know what you guys are dating for. And that's what's ultimately key. And then for that poor person who asks you out on the date, it takes a huge, weight off their shoulder because they have a better idea of how to approach the date, which is great for them, right? Nobody wants to plan a terrible date. I should hope not. So thank you for taking this time and hanging out with me for this video. Like I said, it was short, but I thought it was really cute. I like the different perspectives. And I know recently, especially in social media, talking about dating, especially now that we're starting to come outside again for the second go at this, dating is important. So people are getting back into it and finding new ways to do it in spite of being in this new normal called this pandemic. So share it with your friends. I think it's a good conversation. Like if you have not asked your friends, what do they prefer? Go ahead and ask them and think about it yourself. What do you prefer? What's important to you if the guy initiates or not? What's important to you in the date too? Is it connecting or is it the experiences? That way, when you get out there in the dating world, you have a better clue of what you want and what you're looking for so you can navigate it a little bit better and have a little bit more fun at it too, no matter what aspect that you or direction that you are going in when it comes to dating. So I would love to hear from you. So drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, be safe, be true, and be authentically you.